Good morning. Good morning, drivers. Oh, I have my curtain closed because it is so bright coming in here. So today we're going to show you guys the proper way to do a drop and hook trailer, my way of doing it, and a couple of bonus pro tips in there as well. So get started with the video. Okay guys, I got backed into the spot here at the distribution center that I am dropping at. I am dropping a loaded trailer, and then I will be picking up an empty trailer here at the distribution center. So it is like 10 degrees outside. I'm going to try and get all the information that I want to talk about while I'm out there. If I forget something, I will make sure to add it to the video later on, but we're gonna give this a shot. So my way of dropping a trailer is I like to start from the back and work my way up towards the driver's seat, okay? So, for example, if I had to slide the tandems, I would do that first, okay? Get them slid. I don't have to do that here, but that's what I would do. FYI, in order to slide the tandems, this is one of the push button or the pulls. Okay, so you just pull this little button looking thing right here. Okay, just pull that out and it would push the knob in. Okay, so that way we could slide the tandems. All right, I don't have to do that here, so I'm not going to worry about it. This guy's being a little noisy, so hopefully we can, you guys can hear me okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slide the landing gear. The way I like to remember this is doing the 3 L's. Okay, so your landing gear is the first L. The lever for the 5th wheel pull is the second. And then your lines are the third. Okay, that's the air lines that connect your tractor to the trailer. Okay, so let's start with the landing gear. One thing you want to check if you're new, you don't know, a lot of the trailers will have a diagram of which way you need to turn the crank in order to either retract, which is bring the landing gear up, or extend, which is to bring the landing gear down. Okay, so we want to extend, so we're going to turn it clockwise in order to get the gear to go down. Okay, I need to use my other hand, so let me do that real quick and then I'll go through it with you guys. Okay, so we've got it down. We've got the landing gear down. Okay, now this trailer's pretty heavy, so I'm going to crank this 2 full times. Okay, that's going to be it. Usually crank either 1 turn or up to 2 turns and that's it. You don't have to like crank it 5 or 6 or 7 times, because what's going to happen is the next person that comes to pick up this trailer, if you crank it too high, they're not going to be able to get underneath it. Okay, there's going to be a gap between, like say this is the tractor, there's going to be a gap between the tractor and the trailer, and they're not going to be able to connect. So they would have to crank it back down to get it to land on the 5th wheel. Okay, so just going to crank it 1 and then 2. Okay, and then you put it back on the hook. Okay, let's talk about the next L, which is your lever. Okay, so this right here is your 5th wheel pull lever, if you want to call it that. Okay, now on my truck I have a button inside the cab. I don't have to pull this out manually, and I'll show you guys that button when I get back in the cab. If you don't have that button, they have 5th wheel pulls. You just grab it, lift it, and pull it out. Okay, that's all you got to do. So that's your second L. Your third L, oh, these might be iced together. I might have to get the hammer for this. These are all iced up. Hopefully we can get these loose. So these are your lines. This is your last L that you got to do to disconnect. All right. It doesn't matter what order you disconnect these on. Okay, I just usually start right to left, doesn't matter. Okay, you can do it in any order. Well, that came off pretty quick. That came off pretty easily. Okay, have to clean these up a little bit. This one might be a little bit more difficult to do one-handed, but I'll do this one. Alright. Let me see. Ah, there we go. Alright. What you want to do is you want to hook these back up to your little nozzles here. Let's get back in the cab. Yes, yes, I know my lights are on. Let me show you guys the button I was talking about for the fifth wheel. Okay, so here down here we have what we call a kingpin release. All right, all you got to do is press on it and hold it for about 5 seconds, and then what will happen is when you come up here, it's going to give you a warning that says kingpin released, you know, use caution, whatever. Okay, so let me press it, holding it, and then I'll show you guys the warning message that pops up. Okay, so kingpin release, lower landing gear, disconnect tables. It reminds you to disconnect all the stuff that you need to before you pull away. Okay, side where they have the empty trailers, if I can remember how to get there. And then I'm going to show you guys how to hook up to a trailer. Okay, so I found an empty finally. One thing I recommend, I can't do it right this second because there's a guy right next to me, and this trailer is like really close to his trailer, so I'm trying to give him the opportunity to leave first. But what I recommend, let me show you guys, you find an empty trailer, make sure that you block the front of the trailer. Okay, pull right next to it. Don't hook up to it, but block the front of the trailer. And the reason why is this has happened to me before when I was with Warner. Another driver came in while I was coming back here to make sure it was empty and clean, and he stole the trailer right out from underneath me, essentially. Okay, so make sure you block the front of your trailer when you find one. Now, what I like to do before I hook up, I like to make sure that the trailer is actually empty. Okay, so this one is empty. Nice and clean for the most part. It's a little dusty, but not too bad. I like to do a quick walk around, check the wheels and the mud flaps. Let's make sure I have both mud flaps, which I do. Check the wheels, make sure there's no like obvious damage, like the rim is bent or anything like that. So at the moment everything looks okay. I'm gonna wait for this guy to move out of my way, and then we will get back in, and then I will show you guys how to hook up to an empty, or hook up to the trailer you're here for. Okay, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I apparently had a technical difficulty the other day. So I need to basically refilm the hooking process for the drop and hook, so we're gonna do that now. So before you back completely up, after you've checked to make sure it's empty, before you back completely up, you want to align your tires with the edge of the trailer. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. I don't know if you can see that very well. Give it a shot. Okay, so see how it's just like barely tucked underneath the side of the trailer, the edge of the tire? That's basically what you're shooting for. So what that's going to do is that's going to help you be as aligned to the kingpin as possible. Okay, so that's what you're shooting for. So let me go ahead and get this backed in, and then we will hook up to this trailer real quick. So as you know, when we dropped, we started from the rear of the trailer and we moved all the way towards the door. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start at the front, and we're going to move all the way to the back of the trailer. Okay. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to hook up our lines up here. It doesn't matter what order you do this in. So, let's see if I can do this one-handed. So, your blue line, okay, blue, is going to attach to the blue. All right, it's a little dirty. All you want to do is make sure it grips in there, and then you just want to push it down. Okay, I can't do it right now because I need to do both hands, but that's the basic idea. Okay, then we're going to plug in our plug. So see this? I'm going to make sure these knobs, you want to make sure the one on the flap is behind the one on the plug. Okay, so make sure that we push this in. Okay, so that's how you want it to look. You want it to be behind the knob on the plug, okay, because that's going to keep it from pulling out. Then we've got red and red. Okay, oh, that one pretty easily. Okay, so that's all I got to do with that. Let me get this one in and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, now that we've done our lines, we did our tug test, okay, before I got out of the truck. Now we want to visually make sure that it is locked, okay? So we're going to come underneath. And as you can see, the handle is pushed all the way in. Now, if you want, you can go back under here. This is kind of dangerous, so be careful. Make sure the landing gear is still up when you, or still down when you do this, because it can be dangerous. All right. But you can also check to make sure it's locked. I don't know if you can see it. So you see that little steel bar right there? See if I can lighten this up a little bit. There's a steel bar right here, and it's going across. When that's like that, that means that it's locked, so you're good to go, okay? So that's another way to double check it to make sure that it is actually attached. So now the final step is we're going to do the landing gear. Alright, so we are retracting, so we're turning counterclockwise. Let me do this real quick. So there's one more thing that I like to do before I get going. While I'm scanning my paperwork, I like to turn the truck on. Just a second, sorry. And I'll show you what I do. So kind of a quick test while I'm sitting here with the paperwork, just to double check to make sure there's no air leaking from the trailer. I like to push in the red brake, okay? This allows air to get back into the trailer system. If there is an air leak, if there's a tire leak, anything like that, it will continue to hiss. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But if it continues to hiss after several minutes, that means that there could be an issue back there, so make sure to get out and check before you start running. Okay, so that's something else I like to do, just to, it's kind of an easy way to see if there's something, you know, super serious wrong before I leave. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it on how to properly drop and hook a trailer. It's the method that I use each and every time. It's saved me from, you know, pulling lines or forgetting to drop the landing gear or anything like that. Just make sure you're dropping, start from the rear, head towards the door. And when you're hooking up, start at the door and head towards the rear, okay? Also, again, make sure that when you find an empty trailer in the lot, lock the front of it. So with all that being said, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, if you have your own tips and tricks, please leave them down below in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell if you want to be updated whenever I upload a new video. And I will talk to you guys next week. Take care.